Okay, so in this video, I'll be solving some questions related to functions and expressions. The first question was relatively easy. I first initially did a mistake of just putting a smaller than 1 here, which kind of confused me. I didn't see it. But yeah, I coded this, and the question was, so we have an f function which has x and y, and that function basically squares x. This is a typo. Squares x and then squares y, and then it's just the difference between the two. And then there's another function which is g of x and y, and then it's a piecewise function, and that function uses the other function which is f of x and y, and if f function is smaller than -1, it just returns -1, which is what we have here. And if it's bigger than 1, it returns 1 regardless of how big the number is, and if it's any value in between, then it returns what the f function was. So we have here 1 and 1, because it's going to take 1 squared minus 1 squared, it's 0. Well, it's neither smaller than -1 nor bigger than 1, so it's actually just going to return f of x and y, which is 0. I did it before. But if we do, let's say, 100 to 1, it's going to be 100 squared minus 1. Well, it's going to be a massive number, so it's going to be 1. But if you, let's say, do 1 to 100, well, then it's going to be a very big negative number. So this is how this exercise goes. Okay, so the next question is, a bank uses the following method to calculate the maximum amount a person can have on a credit card. If the person's outstanding debts are higher than 5 times 8% of their annual salary, the maximum credit is 0. So before we get confused, let's just write a function down. What do they want our function to be called? Let's see. Max credit, I suppose, yeah, because that's how I did these. Oops, max credits. And the parameters they want us to use are, I'll just copy them. These. Okay, so we can go back to the exercise. So if a person's outstanding debts are greater than 5 times 8% of their annual salary, the maximum credit is 0. If a person has an account in the bank, 5 times 10% of their annual salary can be used instead. Okay. In all other cases, the maximum credit is calculated as a difference of the outstanding debt and 5 times 8 or 10% of the salary, depending on whether the person has a bank account or not. So we see that the main thing in this question is whether the person has a bank account or not, because that kind of changes all the dynamics. So let's start from the beginning. It says, if the person's outstanding debts are greater than 5 times 8% of their annual salary, the maximum annual salary, the maximum credit is 0. So we can just write that down. If outstanding debts is higher than 5 times 8% of their annual salary, return 0. Well, because their credit is going to be 0. Else if has account, so if the user has account, then credit is equal to 5 times 10% of their annual salary. Okay. Then we have, in all other cases, the maximum credit is calculated as the difference between the outstanding debt and 5 times 8 or 10% of the salary, depending on whether the person has an account in the bank or not. Okay, so we can just say outstanding debt is equal to, maximum credit. Yeah, we can just say max is equal to credit minus outstanding debt divided by 12. Then the whole function can return maximum credit. Okay. I might have missed something, but let's actually check if the print statements are right. Is equal to credit where it is not associated with a value. Then I suppose we can just create credits from the beginning and temporarily set it to 0 to solve this problem. And we get the first statement true, then the fourth one true, but the rest is false. So what could be the reason for that? So the first one, when we have a 0, is correct. And the fourth one is also when we have a 0, is also correct. So we can say that we have no problem in this part of our code. And it seems our problems lie in the rest of the questions. Okay. If they have an account, the credit is this. But then I realize we haven't included the case where they do not have an account. So else if not has account, so when they don't have an account, we can say the credit is equal to 5 times 8% of their annual salary. So let's see if this changes anything. And it does not. Okay. I realized something. We also have this last sentence in the question where we have to truncate the resulting amount to the integer amount. Well, this gives all the decimal points, so it's a floating number actually. So we can just say integer maximum to convert this to an integer, which is going to truncate it. And there we go. Just by doing this, all of the cases here become true. So yeah, a minor detail like that is crucial, as you can see. So I hope this exercise was helpful for you and you understood. If you didn't understand anything, you can ask in the comments, even if it's something really basic, and I'll try to help and answer your question. Well, that's about it. Thank you.